James Webb Telescope discoveries challenge evolutionary models. Basically, they discover some early universe galaxies that grew up surprisingly fast. And they say this means we have to adjust our views on early galaxy evolution. This is something that's happening again and again with the observations coming in from the James Webb Telescope. But basically, as they look out into the galaxy, they're assuming they're looking back in time. And they assume they're looking back around 10 billion years ago, closer to the Big Bang. And so they think they should find some early galaxies that aren't very mature, not very formed. And so they're looking for that, but that's not what they're finding. It's really kind of surprising.
Yeah, there are definitely some astronomical problems with the secular model after this discovery. Okay, so James Webb Space Telescope, so if you guys have heard of it, it's the huge $10 billion observatory that was launched back in, I think it was Christmas Day of 2021. And ever since James Webb came online, it's been making these huge shockwaves of finding these huge, massively formed galaxies in the far reaches, billions of light years away. And by the way, a light year is a unit of distance, not time. And so I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes from. When we're looking at really far away things, we're not actually looking back in time. We're just looking at things that are really far away. And this is actually confirming what a lot of the biblical creationists have been predicting. For example, Dr. Jason Lisle, he's a Christian astrophysicist, the founder of Biblical Science Institute. He successfully made a few different predictions before the data even started coming around in 2022. So number one, he predicted that they would find galaxies at these really high redshifts, these really far distances away. Then secularists were expecting, forcing them to conclude that galaxies formed earlier than their models had predicted. Number two, he predicted that they would find massive, highly structured galaxies that are fully formed, not in the process of assembly, like spiral, elliptical galaxies that are just like the ones close to us. And also, which I think is the big one, detect elements heavier than lithium, like oxygen in the most distant stars that should not be there. And that's exactly what James Webb is continuing to find. Every year we're finding more of these. And so it's fulfilling all of these predictions that creationists have been making. Simply put, the galaxies that are really far away look just like the ones that are close by. It's as if these galaxies were spoken into existence by our powerful God, as described in our word. But here's the thing, biblical creationists, we always get accused of not having models that can actually make these predictions, but now you're actually seeing the tables turn, like with this article here. These secular scientists are now being forced to revamp their galaxy formation models, now claiming that the galaxies must have formed much earlier than previously thought. And that's the exact prediction that Dr. Lisle made back in 2022. It's making a lot of stress as well for some of these secular scientists. For example, here's what one astronomer said. She said, "Right now I find myself lying awake at 3 in the morning, wondering if everything I've ever done is wrong." It's like, probably have.
That's sad, actually.
Couldn't resist, mate.